We are observing Purushotam VRATA. We are hearing from Brihad Naradiya Puran about the glories of Purushotam month. We heard yesterday Valmiki Muni explain to King Haradhanva or Drida Dhanva about the efficacy of offering ghee lamp to Purushottam Bhagavan in this month. Then King Haradhanva further inquired from sage Valmiki, O saintly one, please tell me how to perform Udyapan, that is, the bona fide breaking of Purushottam VRATA. Which rules and regulations should one follow? Which are the special days to finish one's vow of worship to Lord Shri Krishna in Purushottam month? The great sage replied, like you know, like Ekadashi we have to break fast, like that you have to break Purushottam VRATA. The great sage replied, in Purushottam month, one can break his worship and vows on the 14th day, 9th day, or on the 8th day of the dark fortnight. Early in the morning, one should leave his bed. After performing his morning duties, he should invite qualified brahmanas and give them charity according to his ability. If it is not possible to invite 30 brahmanas, one should invite 5 or 7 according to his capacity. At midday, one should purify a certain area with cow dung and water. Then he should draw a round circle with the help of rice powder. He should bring 4 new pots and place them in the 4 directions with a coconut upon each of them. The pots should first be filled with water. He should then establish Lord Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha in each pot serially and invite 4 qualified brahmanas to sit inside the circle and chant the holy name of Krishna. By presenting new clothes, 2 sets for each brahmana, he should welcome them and humbly request them to chant the holy name. He should also present each of them a ring to wear. To purify himself, he should perform the purifying processes mentioned in the Shastra. When the invited brahmanas are engaged in their chanting, one should start his worship to Lord Purushottam with his wife. He should engage the brahmanas to separately chant the names of Chaturbhuja, means Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha, in the 4 corners of the circle. 4 different lamps should be offered in the 4 directions. Then one should offer arghya, that is oblations. And while performing worship by giving arghya, one should chant the following mantra. O Supreme Lord, O Sanatan, O Purushottam, O Hari, I am paying my obeisances unto you. Please, along with your beloved Radha, accept my offerings. I am paying my obeisances unto you, Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar, whose bodily color is like a beautiful dark blue cloud, and who wears effulgent yellow garments on his body most gracefully. That is that mantra. It is in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's article in Sanskrit. Navagana Shyamam Vibhuja, that mantra. In this way, one should pay his obeisances to Lord Purushottam. Then he should offer flowers to Sri Radha Krishna and pay his full obeisances to the Lord along with his wife. Next, he should give some charity to the invited brahmanas according to his ability. The brahmanas should be pleased to the best of his ability. He should also offer some new clothes and ornaments in the name of Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati, and offer 2 pairs of new shoes to them. The best of all kinds of charity is to present Srimad Bhagavatam to a qualified brahmana. By presenting Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the literary incarnation of Lord Purushottam, to a Vaishnava devotee of the Lord, one can deliver his forefathers for 1 crore of lifetime succession. All his forefathers will attain Goloka Dham and live blissfully with Lord Purushottam. After performing the above concluding ceremonies and worship, one should break his vows and worship. As you know, yesterday I told, our Gurudev told, you should not stop worshipping Krishna after Purushottam month. That is not the purpose. As I told before, this, what Valmiki Muni is explaining here, is for Svanishta devotees, not for Parinishtita or Nirapeksha devotees. So, Gurudev said, we will not stop Purushottam Vrata after Purushottam month is finished, but in the sense of the purpose of Purushottam Vrata is to worship Krishna. So this purpose is worship of Krishna, that we will continue throughout life and in next life also and for all time. So here it is like how to break according to Svanishta. Valmiki then said, now I will explain how to avoid the reaction of offenses committing during the Purushottam month. One should feed some qualified brahmanas and present them some gold to nullify his reactions at the end of the Purushottam month. If one has taken his meal on Amavasya day, he should present cows along with other dakshina to qualified brahmanas. One who has not taken his bath properly in a holy place should present some milk and curd to brahmanas. So if you did, like if you took meal on Amavasya day, then you have to do this. Or not taken bath properly, then you can nullify. As I said before, this is perhaps in Satya Yuga going on or Treta Yuga, because that prescription was there that if one is able, he should not eat for the whole month, Purushottam month. That is not possible in Kali Yuga. If someone eats fruits, oil or ghee during Purushottam month, then he should give the same in charity to brahmanas at the end of Purushottam month. If someone eats rice and wheat, he should give the same in charity at the end of month. If someone sleeps on the floor during Purushottam month, he should break his vow by presenting in charity a nice bed along with a pillow to a worthy brahmana. A person who eats on leaf plates during Purushottam month should feed some brahmanas with ghee and sugar. One who did not cut his nails and hair during Purushottam month should give a mirror in charity to a brahmana. One who has offered lamps throughout the month should give some new lamps and new pots in charity to brahmanas. A person who broke any of the rules during the Purushottam month should feed brahmanas with different kinds of sweet juice. Anyone who thus observes Purushottam month in a faithful and devotional way will attain Goloka at the end of his life. Having narrated everything about Purushottam month, sage Valmiki then told King Haradhanva, O king, now I am going to the river Sarayu to take bath, that is in Ayodhya. The king then worshipped him in a very submissive way to please him. After blessing the king with all good fortune, sage Valmiki left that place for Sarayu. When sage Valmiki left the palace, the king, along with his queen, left his kingdom and started to live in a simple and peaceful way in the forest. When the sacred month Purushottam appeared, both husband and wife performed their worship exactly as they had heard of it from sage Valmiki. Like our Gurudev told, Dhruva had this quality. He followed exactly as Narad told him. That is why he got perfection. Anyone who will follow Gurudev exactly, he will get the result. At the end of Purushottam month, a celestial airplane came to carry King Haradhanva and his queen to Goloka. Lord Narayan then told Narad, "O Narad, in this world there is nothing equal to Purushottam month. The result or merit one gets from performing severe austerities for 1,000 births is in no way comparable to the merit of worshipping Purushottam month." There is a nice story in this connection. The story of a monkey who was delivered from this material ocean and attained Goloka simply by taking a holy bath for 3 days during Purushottam month. The sins of his previous life, the sins of his previous 1 crore of lifetimes were destroyed. Hearing these words, the sages of Naimisharanya asked Sutta Goswami, "O great sage, please tell us in detail about this monkey's past life. Who was that monkey? Where and how did he take his bath during Purushottam month? What was he eating during the month? What results did he receive by worshipping Purushottam month unknowingly?" Sutta Goswami then continued to recount what Lord Narayan had said to Narad. In the province of Kerala, there was a greedy Brahmana. His given name was Chitra Sharma, but because of his greedy and cruel nature, people called him Kadarja, means greedy. Being banished from his village, he went to the forest. There he met a pious friend who was a gardener. After some time, the gardener wanted to visit some holy places, and so he asked Kadarja to look after his fruit garden. The gardener was a simple person, and so he left everything under the care of his new friend Kadarja. However, when the gardener left, Kadarja started eating all the best fruits in the garden. When the gardener returned and asked him about the situation, Kadarja told him that the monkeys and birds had destroyed all his best fruits. In this way, Kadarja cheated his gardener friend. That is sin in Shastra mentioned, to cheat your friend. One kind of sin specifically mentioned. In this way, Kadarja cheated his gardener friend. After some time, Kadarja died and was forced to accept the body of a monkey due to his previous sinful activities and cheating his gardener friend. Though he was a most sinful person, he had also achieved some merit in his previous life by seeing an Udyapana, that is concluding ceremony of Purushottam and VRATA, what we just heard from Valmiki, how one should conclude VRATA. So he saw it performed by a Vaishya merchant who had sincerely worshipped that sacred month. He had also worshipped Purushottam month in his greediness in the hope of acquiring some wealth from that same Vaishya merchant. These merits meant that Kadarja, in his monkey body, took his birth in a holy place on the bank of a sacred lake known as Mriga Tirtha. Mriga Tirtha was a very beautiful place. The trees were full of fruits and flowers. The water in the lake was very sweet and cool and very good for health. That place was very beautiful and pious because of a boon given by Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After conquering Lanka, he was very pleased with his monkey army, and so the Lord had given this sacred place to them for their enjoyment, to the monkeys. So it is holy, Mrigatirtha, and this Kadarjo was born as a monkey here because of his merit of seeing conclusion of Purushottam VRATA, and he also worshipped but with greed to get wealth. From the beginning of his birth, Kadarja the monkey was suffering from various pitta diseases. You know, in Ayurveda there are 3 doshas, Vata, Kapha and Pitta. Pitta means fire, and you will get here. Therefore, blood was always coming out from his mouth. He could not eat anything. Acidity is there if high pitta, and vomiting and some skin diseases and impurities, all this. And this is extreme blood that is coming from mouth. Extreme pitta disease. So he could not eat anything. But due to his nature, but due to his nature, I don't know. Due to his nature, he was jumping from one tree to another, picking fruits and then throwing them down. In the meantime, Purushottam month arrived. During that sacred month, the monkey's suffering increased. He could not eat anything, and so he observed a full fast unknowingly during this month. One day, while jumping from one tree to another, the monkey fell down into the lake of Mrigatirtha. After 5 days he died, and when he died, a celestial airplane came and took him to Golok Dham. He received a very beautiful spiritual body and lived happily in Goloka. Seeing the amazing good fortune of this monkey, all the demigods started to glorify Purushottam month. Yes. Then Narada asked, "O Lord, whatever you have explained previously in principle is meant to guide one's activities for the first part of the day during Purushottam month. Okay, we'll read little and tomorrow we will conclude. Lord Narayan then said, after finishing his noon duties, one should welcome any guests who come to his door. A guest who comes to him when he is engaged in milking his cows should be worshipped very properly and fully satisfied by charity given according to one's ability. After satisfying one's guests, one should take his meal very peacefully in a purified place facing the east. He should first chant the mantra, Swaha Om something, no, I think not full mantra, and then begin to honor his meal with the help of his tongue. That is without chewing. That I don't know how this is practically, how this looks like. Then one should eat any sweet items in peaceful mind. One should not eat any food that is in any way contaminated. While engaged in honoring prasadam, one should not discuss anything material, nor blaspheme anyone. Like our Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Sayanamrita Pau, Radha Krishna Gunugam. When you are honoring prasadam, that nectar, you also sing the glories of Radha Krishna. There will be no material discussion and no blasphemy to anyone. An intelligent person should then engage himself in listening to Krishna Katha from a pure soul. In this way, one should always meditate on Krishna and discuss his pastimes with other devotees. When evening comes, one should take a bath and perform his regular evening duties. After finishing his evening prayers and offering some oblations to the fire god, he should sit down and honor prasadam with his followers or family members. Some time shortly after this, he should take rest, thinking of Lord Shri Krishna within his heart. If a grihasta, he should perform his home duties in a truthful and peaceful way. He should not commit violence to others and should be merciful towards saintly people as well. As the poor protection of animals, truthful speech, mercifulness, and non-violence are some of the important principles a grihasta should follow. So tomorrow we will continue, and tomorrow we will finish this from Brihad Naradiya Puran. Narad will ask about the qualities of chaste wife. So that we'll hear tomorrow. It is complete, so I don't want to in between. That we'll hear tomorrow. And as per Valmiki's instruction, we are daily hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahma's prayers to Lord Krishna. Yesterday we heard about Tatenu Kampam verse. That is the most important verse. If one can follow practically this verse, then that is pure devotion, and he will get eternal service of Krishna in Golok, Vrindavan. Our Gurudev gave much importance on this verse, that you have to see the grace of Supreme Lord in all circumstances, knowing that nothing can happen without His will, everything has to be sanctioned by Him, and He is all good. So it is for my eternal benefit and for the eternal benefit of all, and one should not blame others for his own suffering, because he is reaping the fruits of his own actions, and when he is thus free of all issues with anyone, then he can actually wholeheartedly engage himself in the service of Krishna with his mind, heart, body, and speech, always, then he will attain eternal service of Krishna. The next verse. Pashyesha me naryam ananta adye paratmani tvai api maini mayam vitatyekshitum atma vaibhavam hyaham kiyan aicham ivarchir agno. My Lord, just see my uncivilized impudence. To test your power, I try to extend my illusory potency to cover you, the unlimited and primeval super soul, who bewilder even the masters of illusion. What am I compared to you? I am just like a small spark in the presence of a great fire. Commentary. My voice. Voice is connected with fire. Speech is connected with fire element. Commentary by Srila Sai Maharaja's disciples. A great fire produces many sparks, which are insignificant in comparison to it. Indeed, if one of the small sparks were to try to burn the original fire, the attempt would be simply ludicrous. Similarly, even the creator of the entire universe, Lord Brahma, is an insignificant spark of the potency of God. And therefore, Brahma's attempt to bewilder the Supreme Lord was certainly ludicrous. Because Brahma was playing the pastime of being in illusion, he could not recognize Krishna as Supreme Lord. You know, our Gurudev told that Brahma played the pastime of being illusion should not be told to everyone, because the gravity of the teaching will then be lost. That even Brahma, who has such long life and all knowledge of Vedic Shastra and intelligence and his first created being, everything, he could not understand Krishna without surrendering to him, without his grace. Then how can we? It is impossible. So this teaching we have to get from this Lila. But devotees, they will know that Brahma played such pastime to give such teaching to us, and also because Krishna is fulfilling many purposes with one Lila at the same time. You know, he wanted to fulfill the desire of those Brajavasis, the elderly gopis. They wanted to feed Krishna directly. And cows also, they wanted to feed Krishna directly. So Krishna took those forms of cowherd boys and calves to fulfill their desire. They were all getting the transcendental bliss of direct service of Krishna. So here Brahma is saying that it is impudence what I tried. You will find in Upanishad, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, everywhere he quoted the Vispulinga, that all the jivas are like sparks coming from fire, who is Supreme Lord. Small particles of his potency. So here, Brahma is realizing this. I'm compared to, means I'm just like a small spark in the presence of a great fire. Brahma here addresses Lord Krishna as Isha, which indicates that Krishna is not only the supreme master of everyone, but is also specifically the master of Brahma, who creates the universe directly under the guidance of the Lord, and who, indeed, is born directly from the Lord's own body. Now, during this Purushotam month, we are chanting this name, Gokulotsavam Ishanam. This means Isha, Ishanam. I am worshipping him. Ishanam Govindam Gopika Priyam. Rama felt ashamed of his impudent attempt at deluding Lord Krishna, and he was therefore perfectly willing to be punished or forgiven by the Lord according to his decision. If Lord Krishna does not mercifully punish his devotees when they act improperly, their foolishness will simply increase and gradually completely overwhelm their devotional sentiments. Therefore, Lord Krishna kindly disciplines his devotees and maintains them on the progressive path back home, back to Godhead. This is the duty of Krishna and Guru. They are never under the influence of anger due to unfulfilled material selfish desire. That sort of anger is not in them. But they can use anger, not come under the influence, not subdued by anger, but they are using anger for the benefit of jivas or disciples. So Krishna is punishing, even when he's punishing demons, that is not out of hatred. It is out of compassion for them. One time in Chandigarh, on my birthday, I prayed to Srila Bharati Maharaj for his blessing. Then he was explaining to me in Rishinga Lila. Then he asked me in between, so Rishinga Dev is very angry, isn't it? Then I said, yes, very angry. Then Maharaj smiled and said, yes, that is not anger, that type of anger. It is actually compassion for the Atma of that demon, to let him know that that is wrong activity. And you remember, Nala Kuver and Manigrib, they were misbehaving in front of Narad Goswami Sadhu. So Narad, out of compassion, he was angry on them and he cursed them. But that was his compassion to rectify them, and they were rectified, and they got boon to be born in Vrindavan, and they were rectified by Krishna. Our Gurudev also, I saw him, he was very angry. Sometimes on stage in Calcutta, I saw when that one not in charge at that time in Delhi proposed that it would be better to transfer the mat to some other place where there we could get more land and more space like this. And Gurudev became very angry because it was Parangurudev's desire that mat should be there in that location in order to serve the Vaishnavas who will travel by train. That is the main rail station. So it was specifically Parangurudev's desire, I want to serve all the Vaishnavas. So he wanted there should be mat near train station so that we can give prasad to Vaishnavas and place for resting if they have to wait, or like for 1-2 nights of staying. That was the purpose. So Gurudev was very angry, but that is out of compassion. And when one Russian leading devotee, he deviated, then in Vrindavan 2005, after Brajamandal Parikrama, on the stage. Gurudev was very angry, explaining that we cannot understand Supreme Lord by knowledge of languages or intellect and this pride that I'm very learned like this. It is impossible. Only by His grace, when we surrender, it's very angry. Even Acharya Maharaj, who was traveling with our Gurudev for 30 years since that time or more, after the disappearance of Prabhupada, Acharya Maharaj was always with our Gurudev. So it was like 26 years. Even he was astonished to see how angry Gurudev was at that time. I still remember we were all only looking down. No one could even look at Gurudev when speaking. That Shakti came and we were all just down. And another one in Gwalpara, so Gurudev also became very angry because they did not take proper care of that property given by one devotee with faith to the mat, but that was not properly taken care of, and they even brought Gurudev there while that was like not properly taken care of, not cleaned, and the bush was not cut and like this. So Gurudev became very angry because of these two reasons. They were not taking proper care, and also they brought Gurudev there. I was not there, but when Gurudev came back to the mat in Gwalpara, that time I was chanting outside, and Gurudev came, and while he was approaching, already I felt that vibration. And he looked and said, they did wrong. First, they should clean, then they should bring me there. They did wrong. I cannot repeat how Gurudev was saying, but my body started to shake. So much energy was there, very angry. But that is love inside, because also, how you know? Because I felt inside some anarthas were driven out. So that is not ordinary anger, it is transcendental anger for our benefit. And there was another one, god brother of our Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Hrishikesh Maharaj. He was in charge of our Calcutta mat, Param Gurudev's disciple. He was very fixed, he never left Calcutta mat. Always he was very careful about to take care of that Calcutta mat. So one time, because of my impudence, I gave some suggestion to Maharaj that how we could fit in different rooms. Just I gave some suggestion in his room. So he became very angry, but out of compassion. And when Brahmachari was standing beside me also, so Maharaj began to chastise me. Oh, now you know better than me. That was out of compassion. And he started to explain everything. And the more he was chastising me, angry, the more I became happy. Because really I felt it is out of love. He wants for my good. And I felt some anarthas, all these impurities, they were removed from my heart by him chastising. The more he was angry, the more I felt happy, blissful. And that Brahmachari was a bit afraid and also ashamed. He was looking down, but I was feeling very happy. Then at the end, I said, Maharaj, yes, you please forgive my offense. And he said, no offense. but it should be like this, because he knows who am I to speak to him. He is taking care of that mat on the order of Parang Gurudev and Gurudev, and I try to give him suggestion. So he kindly, that was his kindness. He chastised me. So that is their mercy. So here also, here it is stated, if Lord Krishna does not mercifully punish his devotees when they act improperly, their foolishness will simply increase and gradually completely overwhelm their devotional sentiments. Therefore, Lord Krishna kindly disciplines his devotees and maintains them on the progressive path back home, back to Godhead. Also, one time, the luggage of Acharya Maharaj was something was missing there, and no one paid much attention. Then Gurudev became very angry. And then he went to his room. Then he said to Sevak, now they will do. So really then they found that and everything was okay. So for the service of Vaishnava, Gurudev had to do this. And for the service of Krishna, and also in Mayapur, one time there was no water. So that is their duty, to rectify us. That is their compassion. So tomorrow we will hear directly the commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur to this verse. Tomorrow is Ekadashi also. In Purushotam month, every day is sacred, transcendental. It's non-different from Krishna, like Ekadashi. So Ekadashi in Purushotam month is double sacred. So we should observe very carefully. You get more benefit. Tomorrow we'll hear.